Let me bring in on this broadcast BS Arun, senior journalist, and RK Upadhya, senior journalist. Mr. Arun, I'd like to begin with you on what we're seeing right now in Karnataka. A second breakfast meeting while there's pin drop silence in Delhi. We all thought that over the weekend, action would shift from Karnataka to Delhi, that the High Command would kind of get the wheels turning to take a decision. None of that happening, sir. It's only optics management.
Well, it shows that the Congress High Command is in no hurry to resolve the Karnataka power crisis. They have shown it again and asked Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah to hold a breakfast meeting. Now, there is not just one, but two breakfast meetings. There was no breakthrough in the first meeting. I don't think there will be any breakthrough either in the second. But as you rightly pointed out, the decision has to be taken in Delhi. The Congress High Command, has given sort of an indication for quite some time that it's not too concerned about the developments that are happening in Bangalore, in Karnataka, because the statement war had been going on for quite some time. We saw a Twitter war just before the two met for breakfast.
Correct.
About the world power and the world power. So this is sort of the Cold War happening between the two. But the High Command has not opened its eyes. All that happened was Karge coming to Bangalore and meeting some of the leaders, and Siddaramaiah going to Delhi and meeting Rahul Gandhi, while D.K. Shivakumar cut sort of a loss of face for him, that although he went to Delhi, he could not meet the Congress leadership. So to that extent, there is some sort of a setback for Shivakumar, both in Delhi as well as in Bangalore, in the sense that the breakfast meeting, turned out to be a damn squib. There was no major development as regards the leadership tussle. That they repeated the mantra of being united, fighting the elections together, and it was more of a blah blah than anything that was concrete, that was told to the media. At least we don't know what exactly they discussed, whether they agreed to anything or whether they disagreed.
Correct.
Anything. But the fact is, the leadership tussle has remained unresolved as on today.
Let me turn this around, Mr. RK Upadhya. Are we reading too much into these breakfast meets? This is the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister getting together for a huddle. Maybe they're discussing governance. Maybe they're discussing administrative issues in the state of Karnataka. At the end of the day, do they have a great working relationship? And so, therefore, as a result, governance isn't really taking a hit. They're being patient with whatever the High Command will decide.
Actually, the two of them can have as many breakfast meetings as they want. I mean, after all, one has to have a breakfast in the morning. So, instead of just idli, vada, and puri, they could have nati chicken, as Shivakumar has promised.
And some politics.
So that is good for them. I mean, but that apart, I don't think any substantial issues are being discussed. And it cannot happen just between the two. There has to be central mediators, who can sit down with them and then work out a solution. Otherwise, you're just, getting nowhere. My hunch is, Rahul Gandhi is least interested in change of leadership. It goes against the grain of his social justice agenda, and he feels that Siddaramaiah is the best person right now. And if he's removed from power, it will go against his own policy. Because after all, Congress has only three chief ministers, and Siddaramaiah belongs to the OBC, and replacing him with somebody like Shivakumar will send out a bad, wrong message across the country. That could be one thinking. But then you see, I'm also looking at what could happen if Shivakumar gets a chance. See, after all, if at all he has been given a promise, then that has to be honored sometime or the other, probably in a couple of months or 3 months or whatever. But then what is Shivakumar going to bring to the table? I mean, as citizens, we are not really enthusiastic about Shivakumar taking over, because we know what he is capable of or not capable of.
So you're suggesting you
because
prefer
he has
Siddaramaiah
been,
over a DK Shivakumar?
yeah, see, looking at that, see, Shivakumar has been very undemocratic in his style of functioning, and he's very rude with his own MLAs, and is not very polite with the people who go to meet him. And then when it comes to the projects that he has taken up, he doesn't even like a well-meaning criticism. Look at the tunnel project he has taken up. I mean, he has been passionately following it. And then look at the cost that is involved. And every expert has criticized it. And then from 18,000 crores, now it is going up to 42,000 crores. And yesterday there was a meeting of experts across the board from Indian Institute of Science, so many organizations. All of them said this is ill-advised, ill-conceived, unscientific, and financially ruining everything. But this man doesn't want to listen to anybody, doesn't want to listen to anybody. And everybody has pointed out the best way to solve the traffic problem in Bangalore is have more mass transport, have more metros.
No, but are you
And that's the best
suggesting
way
then,
to do
Mr.
it. But
Upadhya, that you believe that Siddaramaiah is the better chief minister of the two?
no, I don't think. Yes, naturally. I mean, as it stands,
Hmm.
he's at least more, balanced. He has carried everybody along, and Siddaramaiah, that's the reason why MLAs like him, and
Mr.
that's the
Arun,
reason
what do
why
you think?
Shivakumar is not able to get the support from the MLAs.
Mr. Arun, what do you think? Do you think that ultimately it comes down to the fact that Siddaramaiah is someone who the MLAs prefer, that he has the support of most number of MLAs because of the administrator that he is?
Well, it's not just administration. It's because he is the leader of the minorities, of the backward classes, and of the Dalits. That's the reason why he commands the respect as well as the support of a majority of the 135 Congress MLAs. And that was the reason why, when there was power tussle at the beginning of when the Congress came back to power, it was Siddaramaiah who made it through, and not Shivakumar. It was because of the strength. It was because he is the mass leader in Karnataka. He commands, that sort of a support among the masses in the entire state, which Shivakumar doesn't. Shivakumar's popularity or base is confined to a specific region, and his support base among the MLAs is mainly from the Vocaligas. So that's sort of a narrow support base that Shivakumar enjoys, and that's the reason why
Okay.
Siddaramaiah, scores over Shivakumar. That's one reason. And
Yeah.
as far as administration is concerned, recently the caste census took place in Karnataka, and that was mainly because of the two reasons. One, Siddaramaiah himself wanted it, and number two, the Congress High Command, Mr. Rahul Gandhi in particular, pushed for it. So it was a message that they sent that
Yeah.
to the AHINDA group, the backwards and minorities and Dalits, that we are with you. So
Yeah.
because
The biggest setback really for the Congress, if they upset Siddaramaiah, will be that particular vote bank. And that's why it's a hard decision for them to take. There's a possibility, though, that they are ensuring a truce between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah because they see this dragging on in the sense that they don't think a decision will be possible right now. Perhaps in March, once Siddaramaiah manages that record of being the longest serving Chief Minister of Karnataka, is when they will ensure that he has a graceful exit and bring in DK Shivakumar. That is one of the many possibilities. Thank you very much, Mr. Arun and Mr. R.K. Upadhya, for your time, for joining us here on India Today.